Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? We lost the first video. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, there you are, Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Okay, I'm going to jump right in. We're starting with world predictions. There's an earthquake coming. We know it's in either March or May. We clearly need to work on the timing there. But March or May keep popping up. It's in the area of San Rosa, San Jose, San Francisco. So that's probably one of our main focus points in our worldwidepredictions.com work. And we're trying to find the date and the timing of this specific earthquake that seems to be coming. My name is Leigh-Pink. This is worldwidepredictions.com. If you click on the blue link, you could actually get a free reading. Just letting you know. Moving on with our world predictions. So let's keep an eye on that earthquake. I clearly need to give you more details. So let's not jump the gun just yet. CIA buyouts. FBI buyouts. The spiritual realm wants to let you know that this will lead to the wave of terrorism that we have been warning you about. All because the U.S. is removing those that guarded the gates. And by gates, I mean international gates. All of this is going to lead to terrorist attacks. And allow me to predict there's going to be several of them against the United States. Moving on, we're going to circle back around to that in a second. But I want to point out, world prediction 3/29/19. Geek is king. I gotta say, yeah, okay. Elon Musk is definitely kind of a king. It has to do with the mass tech boom that gives geeks, as they put it, power. They give them authority, and I'd say that's pretty much happening right now. So the spirits pointed that out as like, hey, that prediction happened. Now, on 12/12/16, we wrote a prediction. Let me backpedal. Leigh-Pink just nailed to perfection the elections, right? No, I didn't. Got a total gutter ball. I mean, the whole thing was a gutter ball, really. But in the back of my mind, there were always these sets of predictions about Donald J. Trump that never happened. I said, oh, okay, it's a failed prediction. I don't know. But now he's coming into the scene. Now there's a jolting sense of, okay, well, he's here, and it started to see like, wait a second, he's doing the things that prediction, that old prediction. So, under that assumption, I said to you the other part of the prediction, where there's going to be a bombing in Israel. The bomb, as I recall, I remember seeing it, and there were all these parked cars, and there was a bomb. And then there was another set of parked cars, and there was a bomb. And I said, okay, well, if this is happening, this other prediction, then there's going to be a bombing in Israel. Now, there was just a bombing in Israel. 3 buses blew up. So, let me read this other part. The first bombshell is coming soon. Trump. What starts off to be a small issue grows. Fraud. Back towards channels. 0, then 5. 0, then 5 has some sort of weight. Wait. There's an epic bombshell coming. Other bombshells shall follow. Disarray. The United States in topsy-turvy. Russia. Backdoor deals. Tapes. And taps. Oh, who's tapping? Oh. The strain between the U.S. sets off Cold War. Like, we are headed towards Cold War. The next main era after this base is back to the 40s and 50s, people. And we're all wearing fedora hats and acting like we're, Red Scare. So this prediction is expected because I'm starting to look at all the old predictions about Trump and say, okay, maybe they're still coming. I don't know. It seems weird. Why would they tell us Kamala's winning then? So, I just want to present those predictions real quick, and then we'll move on. Okay? This is the weird one that really just, on one breath, they say, no evidence of direct collusion with Donald Trump. Vindication. That's it. But then a scandal unearthed, and this time it will not pass. Now that scandal was supposedly the Ukraine one. Then they totally switched gears. I had a visual of Trump sitting in a limo with a smirk on his face. The oligarchs financed him. And I'm like, that's the opposite of what you just said, but okay. The Russian government consuming and fueling so much. Oh, Americans, the bots are coming. The attack against the United States. They're ramping up control and manipulation of your elections. You are officially under attack. And then right after that, it says Trump wants to bring back the Russian oil. Those are old predictions. This prediction is from 7/19/18. The prediction before that was predictions 3/7/18. You can look them up on the worldwidepredictions.com website. And so there's a sense I'm starting to think all of these are starting to happen. Trump in July falls. Things begin. In December, it will become too close. Oh, the U.S. down. The new president will face crisis atop crisis. So, he's getting scandals, boom, 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 from July to October scandals. And then on top of that, the FEMA situation is unfolding, which is probably around September, October with the hurricane season. You get the impression that just goes bad. Then on top of that, at the same time, not his fault, seriously, but there's an earthquake happening over here, and the funds aren't really going over here because they're stuck over here. Okay? So all of that is coming. We can clearly see why they're calling the United States red. In the meantime, the spiritual realm would also warn the United States. Listen, it's like Brexit. The United Kingdom used to rule. They were in charge of the high school. Everybody listened to, hey, UK, oh, everybody's got to listen to him. Right? There was a time like that. And then they turned around and said, we want to be alone. We're going to do it ourselves. Right? That's what Brexit is saying. We're going to do it ourselves. We can handle our own. Okay, what happened then was the UK became alone. Like their economy slowly melted down. Their businesses melted down. People were like, okay, fine. You want to be alone? You're going to be alone. That is the stage you are setting, the United States of America. You're setting a stage to just be alone. And when you're just alone, okay, I mean, that's an option, but the economy will not be the same. The benefits will not be the same. And you get the impression that this is when we start cutting. And so in the prediction, they talk about FEMA, just everybody's enraged. Like, where's the help here? But no, we cut it. So what, it's almost like now we're cutting now. So, and there's a sense of that's where the turmoil kind of spins heavy in that period. Which leads to this. Mutiny. Those under him began to turn on him. The president. I had a visual of a leader drawing a red line on the cement ground. Then I saw a leader continue to draw a red line, creating a square around him, boxed in. Okay. So, here he is seizing power on some level. I don't really know how he's seizing power, but he's boxing himself in with this red, I'm not going to get through. At the same time, whether I don't know, it has to be completely different. New York's under attack. You get the impression that New York, it says New York 1. Then it talks about 20. Now, this particular prediction is different. All the other predictions that talk about 2020, 2020. Oh, this date on the 20th. Civil war, civil disobedience, chaos, the U.S. torn, everything ripped apart. The Empire State Building, they show this image where there's an explosion. It might be an example. We're not necessarily saying that building. Normally they use examples. All of this unfolding all at once for the states. Quite horrifying. And yet at the same time, I'm not quite sure what the order of affairs are. Does this happen first and then this? I'm not quite sure. But these two main things are happening at the same time. He's got a red line going around him, and there seems to be a terror attack happening at the same time. Which kind of, in my opinion, it looks like there was a terror attack, and then he said, I'm taking all power, and they said no. That would be my guess. Violence becomes the new way. America, the key. Stop screaming and return to the moral foundation. Okay? Just so we're all clear, if you ask the spiritual realm, who is to blame? Just all this mess. You know, it's got to be the Republicans, right? Yeah, no. It's both of you. Both, all of it's to blame. There's no one's innocent here. They see it. They see that there's two sides. One side is a bit arrogantly invasive. Own that. Own the fact that I'm arrogant. I'm going to stand up here. I know best. I speak. I'm better than all. Right? Okay. Look at the state of affairs, buddy. You're not delivering. Like maybe when you're done with your pedicure? I don't know. But there's a sense of that group there. Right? And then there's the one with the clap. I'm going to make it out. Bam, 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 bam. Right? That figure is also there. And any doubt of this, look at Ukraine currently. I mean, there's Trump with his boom, 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 boom. And there's the Europeans who aren't really doing anything. They're just talking, but they're not doing anything. They're too comfortable with their, circumstance. And so that is the flaw. Say what you want about Trump being Trump. What is the other side doing? Because it seems like they're not doing much. And so the spiritual realm wants to point that out. That contrary to what you see, both sides are fueling this. Both, like if the other side got up and responded to the moment, just attacked it full force, Trump would have no place there. You see that, right? Like if Europe got up and said, we're doing this, well, that would be the end of the story. But Putin, Trump, others of these figures, they're expecting apathy. We'll see how that plays out. I know I'm getting very political here. I know I actually did not promote this video because I'm like, I'm going to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about politics. Listen, I just want to put that last part out there. I know I talk about this a lot. Why is this psychic predicting politics? The bottom line is this. There is red and there is blue coming. They're absolute horrifying monsters. They are truly evil, beyond evil. And it was our mission from the beginning, starting with Trump actually, to make sure we showed you we could predict people. Right? We needed to be able to predict people. To be able to stop red, to be able to stop blue, we needed to be able to say, okay, this is going to happen next. This is going to happen next. This is going to happen next. And unfortunately, Trump was the first of that group. And so I'm kind of like, we're still talking about him. But at the same time, I get it, When we talked about Razik, that was the thing. When we talked about Duterte, that created fires and flames. Okay. So that is the world predictions. I want to tell you a story, and then we'll open up for questions. I do my personal readings, and pretty much, if you're a new client, if I've never talked to you before, the end of the conversation goes like this. Well, that wasn't bad at all. And I think to myself, what are you expecting bad? Like, what are you expecting here, right? And the thing with the personal readings is they're nothing like these world predictions. I mean, we hunt for whatever the problem is. We're looking for it. Like, where's the problem? Where's the problem? Find it. So we're looking for the absolute worst life has to offer. We're not looking for the best. We're looking for the worst. We're hunting for the nightmares to show them to you. That's not a reflection of anybody's lives. Nobody's lives are like that. And so I wanted to kind of cement this, that having a personal reading with Eric Leigh-Pink, it's like sitting with grandma and grandpa, right? And they're having tea. Now, dear, I want you to know, I'm only a couple of million years old. Okay, I don't want to be intrusive, but, I'm putting out their advice to you. That's really what they are. And their advice sometimes is very unique. On top of that, they will give you echoes. They will explain echoes. So I wanted to present this story. We are writing the Ukraine invasion by Vladimir Putin. We're writing about how he was invading Ukraine. Vladimir Putin will take Ukraine, but only East Ukraine. That's what the prediction says. Conquer Ukraine, but only take East Ukraine. I was in Mexico at the time, and so I came back from Mexico. I got on the train, and I just fell asleep. And while I'm asleep, this vision happens. It was a ship, a very large, huge, gigantic carrier ship. There was a storm in the background. And all of a sudden, there's a floor that can come up on a carrier ship. The carrier ship floor comes up. And there's Diana, dressed in completely white gown. She looks like Marilyn Monroe. Her lipstick is very red. I mean, she's got the whole red thing going on. Her hair is beautiful. And off to the side is Marcus, Amika, Diana, Michelle, Axel, all of the other spirits involved in our work. And they're all dancing like those old 60s shows where you're like, tee-tee, 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 tee-tee. And the fake smile that pops up, and they're all dancing. The song playing is It's Raining Men. It's Raining Men. Right? That's all you can hear play in the background. It's Raining Men. And there's this just everybody's dancing. All of a sudden this door pops open in the carrier that's floating in the ocean. And all of these little children pop out. And they're like, it's raining men. And everybody's dressed in these huge, nice gowns. They have nice shirts on. Everybody's dressed. And at the center is a lady, and she's wearing wedding. She's just got the whole wedding outfit. She's got the thing. Shimmer pops up. Shimmy pops up in the background. Just a misty cloud in the sky. But then the cloud turns and it goes, doo, and it's almost like a light beam comes down, doo, and and then, Diana goes full blown, like, it's raining men, and then I come out of the video. And so now the train is moving, and it's do. And the people on the other side of me, as I'm waking up, like, oh, that was a weird one, whatever. I'm coming up, and she looks at me and she says, do I know you? And I just looked at her, and very sarcastically I said, I said, have you read any doom and gloom lately? And she's, and so almost immediately we start talking. And she says to me, she says, I'm engaged. Are you picking up anything? I looked at her, I said, is he a sailor? Because if he is, you're marrying him. He was, and they got married. That is how a reading operates. No doom and gloom, no murder and death, no meow. No, they're just happy, joy messages that I give to you. I share with you. I share the information that you need, the resources you need. And that's what a reading is, personal reading with Eric Leigh-Pink. I wanted to make that clarified because my reputation for being Darth Vader has been cemented. Like I walk in the room and people are like, it doesn't help that things are bouncing around in the background and things are moving, you know what I mean? Like it's like poltergeist in a certain direction. That doesn't help either. Well, that is it. Thank you very much. Let's see what we have for questions. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Yeah, your reading was pretty cool. I liked it. Okay, let me start from the top here. Hello, brother. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thank you. I'm Allie. I'm 20 years old, and I didn't ask anyone for help and did the best for my children, but now can't do anything. I can't even afford to buy them good food, water, and clothes. Hope and joy. Hope and Joy Orphanage. You can speak. You can talk. You can write. You can tell stories. You can express that to the world. Give that to the world. And the spiritual realm wants you to know that when you do that, give it joy. In your moment of triumph, in your moment of difficulty, plight, give it joy. While you don't have it here in this moment, give it back. So that your horror, your nightmare, your trapped sentiment has meaning. I hope that helps, Hope. He would not have the power to stand up to bullies. Gold, who would not have the power to stand up to bullies? Just an FYI, you want to stand up to a bully? It's easy. Anything the bully says, brr, 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 brr. Poke fun at it. Have fun. Just dee-dee. There is a spiritual titan, a titan of all titans. He's really the coolest guy. He's called the Monkey King. And he's up there in the heavens, and on one end he's a warrior, but on the other end he's got this, side to him. Very fun, very, very enjoyable figure, but really cements how to deal with monstrous figures. I don't know if that's what we're talking about. The damage was, Cindy, so what size of earthquake? I don't know about the size, but the damage was extensive. It was not nice. Comparison-wise, when was the last big? Yeah. It wasn't as big as Haiti, but it didn't look like it was nice either. So. Okay, love the story, Eric. Thank you. Your readings are the best. Thank you. I missed the beginning, so you talked about the earthquake. Could you say what it's looking like? Okay, yeah, we can do that real quick. I'm expecting an earthquake. The earthquake centers around San Rosa, San Jose, San Francisco. San Francisco wasn't entirely on the list, but seriously, San Jose's over here, San Rosa's over there, San Francisco's in the middle. I don't think we're going to miss it. There is a threat, and there's a real concerning of understanding. This is the beginning of a prediction. I know it's coming. I can feel it's coming. Now the question is when. For some odd reason, I keep picking up on 1 and March, when my birthday is, March 23rd. I'll be 50, everybody, so the gifts, please, I'm just saying. But anyway, March 23rd over here. And then, but on the other end, I keep seeing this odd vision, which doesn't, little baby flags. And there are several predictions about this earthquake in California area with these little baby flags. So I'm like, what? That's May. Unless the little baby flags are there for another reason. But, and that happens. That happens a lot. There's an actual prediction right now that I posted before that talks about these ropes, and they're going to hang people. And they're hanging in the south. And you just see this. Oh, this is dark. But then it shifted and it showed a memorial with the flags. And we're walking to a gravesite, right? That was me. So the imagery was just like, oh, I remember this. I'm just walking through, I know, I was here. So there's a question mark of some sort of rope, some sort of southern event. In the vision, the ropes were hanging from the trees, and they didn't really want to show me more than that, so. But yeah, we're expecting an earthquake. This is just the beginning. What I plan to do is get more information. I'm actually, that's really on the target today, really. To try and get, is it March? Is it May? If it's March, we really need to know right now. So. I stay away from the size of the earthquake because I've learned that it's about the damage. You can have a major earthquake in Japan, a huge one, and not really have much damage. You can't say that for a city in Turkey, right? Those structures aren't built the same. So for me, Eric Leigh-Pink, I stay away from what size it is and just sort of report on how bad the damage is. If we did not give Trump power, he would not have it. Did not give Trump power, he would not have it. I don't know. The first time around, I was willing to give this person a shot. I didn't vote for him, but in the back of my head, I thought to myself, why not? Why not? This guy's, he's a business guy. So I don't know if we gave him power. I don't know if that's the way I would look at it. From my perspective, we diluted truth. You diluted it, all of us. There was a time where if an anchor on the news said something that was untrue, that anchor would be fired. Sorry. You've spoken untruth. How dare you? You're an anchor. I'm not mentioning names, but there's a whole group of anchors that got caught with their pants down, and none of them are fired. And so here you're allowed to dilute truth. You're not doing anything about that. So anybody can kind of get up there. Anybody can leave now. There's no need to be truthful. So, yeah. I'm not trying to knock Trump, but yes, Ronald McDonald figure-ish kind of individual, yes, because you have diluted the standard bearer. You have diluted that this matters. So it's more of an open forum, and that's what they say is the issue. You need to go back to truth. You need to go back to having that compass. That's not an opinion. I'm literally predicting that. How much longer is Elon Musk going to run the country? The prediction says, geek is king. But you also get the impression that in the prediction, it is the story of Icarus, where he's a bit like under the thumb of another individual, just like the story shows. But he gets too arrogant in the story, Icarus' story, and decides, even though he has feathers of wax, he's going to fly directly up into the sun because, he's invincible, and then plummets into the water. And I'm kind of get the impression that that's probably going to be the storyline here. I don't see this playing out to his favor entirely. So, are we really going to have to deal with 4 years of Trump and the dictatorship? Let's put this together, because someone else online asked the question, hey, what happened to the military man? What's going on with the military man, Eric? This list here is all I have. If you were to give me a list, if I were to give you a list of all the other predictions I have of Trump, it would be pages. That's a problem. Why? What? How did it just okay? We have that much left, but where is this going? According to the predictions, we're expecting Trump to become sick enough to go to the hospital. Sick enough to where most likely you can get used to the words coming out of your mouth, President J.D. Vance. Because, I don't know, if you're in the hospital, maybe he can run the show, but I don't see that being the case. But you also do get the impression from, in that vision, that he recovers, as I recall. But this sets the stage because he starts to get very upset. Things go south in this timeline, and that's when there's another prediction where they're pushing him out, right? I have to bring this up. There's a completely another set about a president who's shot. Right, but the tall man, there's a tall man there. I don't know what that's all about. But they just throw this image where, that's not that, we predicted the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, right? You can read that on the worldwidepredictions.com. But they also predict another event where somebody is assassinated. Everybody's mourning. So that piece is there well. We are actually moving into this. Let me cement that for you. We are moving into an era of assassinations. I am expecting multiple, both good and bad, from Vladimir Putin to probably Zelensky. But we're also expecting assassinations in Latin America. And not only one, but two. So there's going to be this upkeep. We talked about how airplanes would be a thing. Watch the airplanes. You can see that on the Worldwide Predictions site. I should actually post that, where I keep pointing out, guys, we're going to have an airplane problem. I will say I was expecting it to be more terrorism, but in this particular case, it wasn't. But right now, that's my concern. Okay. Happy birthday to Mr. Aries. Yeah, I just had to point it out because I am an Aries. Day before my son. Don't they get little baby flags as markers in front of the gravesite of the military? Yes, but this was clearly a special day. In the vision, they were everywhere. So that would have to be Memorial Day, 4th of July. So something is happening to where all of them are out, and they're marking a moment, right? Because there's no clocks anywhere, guys. So we're looking at events that say, okay, when did this happen? When would you do this? Because that's the marker. That's the when. I wish somebody would put a big clock in the sky now. Okay, it's gonna happen at 5. As per hanging in the South, I hope there's not going to be a resurgence of lynching. Also, there's a lynching museum that is hanging, feeling of a lynching person. Yeah, we're expecting a rise in the KKK. We're expecting a rise in this. I will say this: the message was vague. They didn't really show much. It was two trees, and then they showed these ropes hanging, and you got the impression that they were ominous. If it's coming right now. It'd have to be coming fairly soon, since well, actually no, we returned to the gravesite in March, so around March. Otherwise, this prediction is I'm misinterpreting the prediction. I'm wondering if your assassination of the tall man is either Barack Obama or Joe Biden. In the vision, he was the president. So there was a change of guard. So I don't know if that would fit. Like somebody had to take power. So I would have to say no. Do you think Putin will drag on the war in Ukraine past this year? Will Putin still be in power in 2026? No, we made that very clear. The one thing about Russians is you do not screw them over without consequences. And he's doing that. November is when the war ends. I hold to that, and now more than ever I hold to it right now. I'm telling you, predicting. It'll end in November. On top of that, he gets a piece of the land, and Putin passes violently. In one vision, it's a sword. In another vision, it's always with a neck. It's always neck. Sword, somebody has a bullet, puts it in the back of his neck. And then the third one is surgical for some reason. I thought that was odd. But no, that you really get the impression. Not only is that, but they just rip his picture down. There is an absolute horror show underneath all this. There's more we're not seeing, where people are being tortured, people are being hurt. We're not seeing it yet, and then it comes out, and that only adds to the fury of the moment. So, not good news over there. Sorry. But no, honestly, the wars, they're making it sound like the war's coming to its end. It will end. You'll know it will end when this happens. His economy teeters. It's just, he's spending money he shouldn't be spending. And the bubble just poof. When that happens, it's count the days. Like the war's got to end soon. The part that I'm still trying to figure out, and I know we don't want to get too dark here, is when he uses the tactical nuke. Will Zelensky remain alive? As the prediction reads, I don't think so. No. They actually imply he is assassinated. He is a part of the group of assassinated ones. I'm sorry. That's my expectation. There is a very specific prediction. I don't have it available. Hold on one second. No. I don't have it available, but it pretty much reads, there's a crisis happening, war is brewing, somebody turns on the nuclear weapons, the lights are on, and at the same time that's happening, in the top part of the prediction, it talks about, they shot him, they shot our leader. So the two are just too closely aligned that I would have to say, no, we're expecting the president to pass, unfortunately. The torture you have spoken of is in Guantanamo. They just took migrants there today. We're talking about Ukraine, but I understand you're upset with that. I'm not justifying that nightmare. Do you think Putin will drag on with the war in Ukraine past this year? Does Putin keep going with the war? Ooh. Yeah, he's running out of the stock barrels, guys. They're making it sound like what's coming next also is basic goods. Basic goods, basic needs, eggs, things like the Russian people don't have the basics. Where are the basics? For some reason, these things go away. That's another thing that seems to be happening. So, any other questions? That was fun. Questions? Any other questions? Okay. Well, with that said, guys, it was lovely talking to you. Egg prices, yeah. I'm still surprised. I just want to put that other piece out there. We predicted the avian flu. We said that we'd run out of all eggs, right? But guys, I predicted COVID. I have three major predictions about COVID. Then there's another three other ones. But my little avian flu prediction just blew COVID out of the water. I'm like, what's going on here? You know. So we're trying to sort out what's going on. We're starting to think, we honestly starting to think we're being, when it comes to doom and gloom, the social media outlets are putting us under the radar. And we're not getting the information out there as much as we thought. They might be like, pew, pew, pew. Because the storm predictions seem to make a lot of hits. Okay. Thank you. Just curious, BC, I was listening to a podcast about what do the spirits think of the death penalty. What do the spirits think of the death penalty? What do you think of the death penalty? Yeah. I mean, the Shimmer would say it like this. You murdering, this person murdering, that person murdering, this person murdering, that's human. If you're going to evolve beyond that, if you're going to take it to the next level where you stop murdering each other, you're going to have to stop that too. There's a sense of one can't be there without the other. That's more logic. It's not a moral compass. I'm not presenting a moral compass. I'm simply saying if you choose to fix the problem of ending murder, they all have to go. So, and it would be in your best interest to start with where you're at, because it's easy to kill it and then work your way down. And FYI, prediction, why you bring it up, we do actually shift. We stop murdering each other. But the weapons we have, wow, why so mean? That hurt. Like nets that come out. There's little drones that pick you up and throw you. So there's a sense of the more dangerous weapons, they go away. They really do at a later date. Okay. Thanks, Eric. Have a great week. Stay well. Thank you. The next topic for next week. Yes, very good point, Cindy. I don't know. We're going to be talking about a couple other quick things. I have Lord Ido. I want to share the story of Lord Ido. I think that's a big one. But one of the things I leave you with, Cindy gracefully brought up, is there are multiple topics I want to talk about. We'll talk about space and what I learned about those, what's out there. Ooh, total foil hat there. I want to talk about the different players involved in the work and the spiritual realm, and how different they are, and how unique they are, and how wild they are. But there's one conversation I do want to give you most of all. I have been doing these world predictions. And it sounds macabre-ish. It really does. I don't know how to report it any other way. But when something happens, when a bomb falls on Ukraine, when a dam bursts and everyone passes, right? When all of that is unfolding, on the spiritual realm side is a group coming out. Whether it be Lord Marar, the cherubs, Sephrons, all coming out to help and aid. Okay, let's get these guys home. Come on, let's go. Now, as they're going out, to deal with the situation. You got my little Anthony. Excuse me, where are you going? Okay. Oh, over there. What happened? Like he's getting the information. He's a scout. So there's 3 scouts, and they're over there like, oh, something's happening in the Gulf, Eric. You might want to switch over to the Gulf. And that's the information that we're pulling, right? So we're always on the other wall watching, observing, seeing all the wonderful celebrations you guys have. And this whole time, I have spent doing my world predictions, looking at the way you guys see death. I said, it's none of my business. It's not my place to intrude on your beliefs in death. I see how it clearly is, but just be quiet, Eric, do your thing. And then B passes. And it was 2 months being cut off from the spiritual realm. It was necessary. We had to do it. But that experience cemented, no, I should very much share with you death. Not only share with you death, but all of it. From the bottomless pit to the middle, to the area in the middles, to the highest. So, talk amongst each others. You guys tell me which stories you want to hear first. Which stories do you want to hear first? Do you want to hear about that? Pretty deep stuff. Do you want to hear about the beginning? What do we want to hear about? This is something that I want to discuss. Space, a little bit out there, really. Pun intended, you know what I mean? Well, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you guys. Give me a shoot on worldwidepredictions.com and tell me what you want to discuss. What's the next big chapter? Huge. Thank you. Bye-bye.